Hello and welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this now moment with myself and with one another. My intention with all of these videos is to assist in raising the frequency and vibration with one another and on Mother Earth. This is going to be a really quick video. I'm not going to do light language and I'm not going to go into flow. I just wanted to touch briefly on blue light. And yes, I am wearing glasses. These are Blueblocker glasses. And I kept having this synchronicity and I was hearing U2. Remember the group U2, they rock. And of course, there were a lot of synchronicities with the songs that I kept hearing playing over and over again in my head. But I kept being reminded that I need to wear my Blueblocker glasses. And it was really funny because as I put these synchronicities together, right, I was totally reminded of Bono, the rock star, whom I love. And so I was like, I got to do a video about these really quickly, this Blueblocker stuff. So while I'm not necessarily recommending that you buy these particular Blueblocker glasses, these were my first pair. I didn't know what they were like. And as stylish as they might be, they do work really well. These are like the very, if you work in a laboratory, this is the kind of stuff that these are the kind of glasses that they wear. And then my sister bought me a pair for Christmas, which is the ones I was wearing, which I love. These are made by Diff, D-I-F-F. They make really fun sunglasses, and I think they give a lot of their proceeds to charity, so those might be kind of a fun one. And then I literally have a pair of these by my computer, by my bed, and in a basket in front of my television. So that way I remember to wear them. And this other pair that I have, my husband fondly calls me from Wayne's World, right? He likes to call me Garth when I wear these glasses. So either way, they all work. One's got yellow, some have got a white tint to them. I like them all for different reasons at different times, but I was guided to bring this up because if you guys just go online and look up the information on blue light, we are bombarded by our computers. Sometimes we work in front of a computer, then we look at our phone when we're on break, then we come home and we look more at our phone or our computer, and then we watch TV, and then we lay in bed and we read off of our Nooks or whatever our ebook reading is, or get back on our phones. And essentially, and even if you listen to a sleep app on your phone, that's a whole other video with the EMF frequencies, of which I also wear a necklace on that, but Shun Guide is really good for that. But that's another video. Bottom line is we are in the process of expanding and morphing and upgrading and essentially evolving. And the blue light, while we always hear all the sun and all the sun's rays can be harmful, from my guidance team that I work with, they guide me to be in the sun and not to necessarily block out the light of the sun. In fact, I do sun gazing. Doesn't mean I stare at the sun. It just means that at sunset or sunrise, I look either directly at the sun if it's in a very dark orange state, or I look around the sun in each direction and blink my eyes a lot, and it helps with the pineal gland and to absorb some of those photonic rays that are really important for what we're doing with our ascension journey. So that's another sidebar. But if you go online and you look this up on your own, I just wanted to give a quick recap. We obviously know on the physical, it can it's bad for, it enhances macular degeneration. So our vision is definitely affected. And when I started wearing the Blueblocker glasses, my sleeping did get better and my eyes seemed to not have as much vision difficulty. I was starting to kind of get fuzzy more often than usual. And I was getting more headaches, and I'm not usually inclined to headaches. Now that I've worn these Blueblocker glasses, I've seen and literally felt a difference in this assistance. The other thing is it does affect the circadian rhythm, the sleeping patterns, which in turn can affect our mood, our cognitive thinking, and if we don't have a lot of sleep, we have a tendency to get grumpy and our whole system is thrown off. But bigger than that, it affects our pineal gland. So if there are those of us that are like, I really want to be able to use my third eye, I want my intuition to work, I want this to all come online, yet we're not cleansing and purifying that pineal in addition to the fluoride and everything else, which is a whole other video, this can essentially really affect our pineal gland. And I'm going to encourage you guys, I'll include the link. I got to go back and add all the links to my videos this week that are helpful. But this is an article from, I'm going to go up here real quick, the U.S. National Library of Medicine, National Institutes of Health. So this is obviously a public site, and there's so many articles on how blue light affects not only macular degeneration and the eyes, but if I go to the end of this, the summary says it plays a role in regulating the autonomic nervous system and endocrine. So we've got melatonin, which is secreted in the brain, right? Or I believe pineal is associated with melatonin as well, which helps to regulate our sleeping patterns. Cortisol, which if you guys have ever heard me talk about the heart and heart math and just in general being in that coherent space, which keeps the cortisol regulated in the body and keeps us out of that fight or flight response, which ultimately affects our adrenals. How many people do we know that are not only experiencing sleeping issues, but they're having thyroid issues or adrenal blowouts or all of the above, because it's all connected to cortisol. And oftentimes people don't understand why. This is not helping. The computer and the TV and all the blue light that we're constantly being bombarded by isn't helping any of that. So it talks about I'm going to skip to the basic and it also talks about concentration, the sympathetic system response, and it talks about leading to the light-induced cortisol response by the adrenal gland. So it's almost like it's pushing our adrenals that is essentially all connected to why a lot of people are burning out, literally. If we're constantly in a state of fight or flight, and we're constantly in this state of duress, right? Duress, de-rest, not resting, right? Not in coherence, not in alignment. How can we find that space of stillness? And I'm going to go into another long, elongated video on this to talk about this possibly in the future. But I just wanted to touch briefly on this and share with you guys just a really quick, easy tool that you guys can add to your Ascension toolbox to maybe assist you with some of the things that we're being affected right now by and how we're being affected by them. And recognizing that if we're going through Ascension and we're having all of these symptoms, which can be eye issues or electrical stimulation or sleeping issues, right, that are part of the Ascension symptoms that are naturally part of what many of us are experiencing. But then on top of that, we have this bombarding of this blue light technology that essentially amps us up even more. That's one of the biggest reasons so many of the starseeds that I work with or that I've noticed out there in whether I'm teaching yoga or whatever it might be in conversation, it's adding to that. So just by obviously cutting back on how often we're on the computer or on our cell phones, getting out in nature, getting grounded, that's a whole other topic. But all of these can be used as tools to assist us in getting back into a positive sleeping pattern, getting out of the cortisol that's flooding our body and blowing out our adrenals and thyroid issues that everybody seems to be experiencing, the nervousness, the anxiety, all of it's connected. And so we can be doing as much breathing and exercise as we want to, and that'll certainly help. It'll help a lot. But it also is important to unplug. And if you're not unplugged, maybe these are a cool tool to assist when you can't unplug and you're in that process of creating on the computer or working or whatever it might be. So I just wanted to bring our awareness around that in case you didn't already know. And if you did, it's just a good, gentle reminder. So hope you enjoyed this Kiss, Keep It Simple Starseeds video. And in love and light, guys. Namaste.